Hello everyone, we are back here with another lecture in the series of business environment analysis. Today we are going to study about the most important aspect of business environment, that is the macro aspect of external business environment, which can be defined as sum total of all those forces which are existent outside business organization, remain beyond its control and influence the operating efficiency of business organization. Here we have quoted 6 aspects of macro environment: economic environment, social, political, legal, technological and global. Besides, I will give you a close glimpse of national environment too. So starting with the economic environment as have been mentioned comprises of economic system, economic policies and economic condition. Broadly these 3 aspects we are having of economic environment. When we are talking about economic system, we may be a capitalistic economy, we may be a socialistic economy, or we may be a mixed economy. In case of capitalistic economy, large amount of freedom is offered to the business entities. They can operate the way they want. Here, state just play role of policy state. That means basic guidelines are decided by the state. Rest of things can be performed by business entities. They are having freedom in case of tax, in case of selection of technology, in case of selection of industry that they want to establish. So here we are having large amount of facilities that are being offered to the business entities and minimum intervention by the state or by the government. Here we are having socialistic system of economy. In socialistic system, priorities of the nations are always remaining at the forefront. Industries are instructed very first to produce those goods which are our national priorities. Thereafter, they can use their resources for earning profit. But here, most of industries or the majority of economy is led by the public sector enterprises. Private sector is allowed but to a minimum extent. When we are talking about mixed economy, in case of mixed economy, both kind of sectors are existent, private as well as public. Public sectors allocate its resources for national priorities or for social welfare and development of that infrastructure which can promote the growth of economy as a whole. That means removal of income and wealth distribution inequalities and regional inequalities remain the main objective of public enterprises, whereas private sector keep running after their profit maximization goals. So they produce those goods which are high in demand and which can make them or provide them with a large amount of profit. Secondly, we are talking about economic policies. Here you can reckon policies like monetary policy of the central bank, fiscal policy of the government, whereas we are having industrial policy, state policies. All these policies are having significant bearing on the operations of business entity. When we are talking about monetary policy, it is specifically related to the rate of interest. If they get reduced, it will promote to the demand of goods and services and industrialization, whereas if we are having high rate of interest, it will demotivate to the industrialization and demotivate to the consumption patterns or demand of goods and services. So it also used by the Reserve Bank of India or the central bank of any country to control the rate of inflation and to promote the industrial growth. These 2 objectives seems opposite to each other, but they have to balance each of these. Then we are talking about fiscal policy, that is more or less related to the tax rate. That is about the individual tax rate or corporate tax rate, dividend distribution tax rate. Different kind of tax are being paid by the business entity, be they are direct or indirect. These tax rates are used by the government of country to promote some specific industries and to reduce or curtail the spread of those industries which have already been mature. Then we are talking about trade policies. Trade policies are related to free movement of goods and services, personal investment, etc. among the countries or within the different states of the countries. When we are talking about industrial policies, it is about promotion of different kind of industries or different sectors and different region industrial development. So what kind of industrial policy we are having, that will also influence kind of industries will be established, in which states, at what locations, where we are having availability of raw material. Government even can offer us tax holidays, concession in terms of interest rate and carriage, etc. So industrial policy is related to promotion of different kind of industries. Here we are talking about economic condition. Economic conditions means GDP growth rate, national income level, per capita income, prevalence of poverty, unemployment, etc., infrastructure facility. All these things influence the decisions of business enterprises that whether they should decide to operate in a particular economy or they should avoid operating there, particularly where the large per capita incomes are available. Various industries do desire their expressions to establish their units in such economies. Wherever they are having less amount of per capita income, necessary goods will remain in higher demand, whereas luxury goods will be in demand to the lesser extent. So we have to also decide about what kind of economic conditions are prevalent in a particular countries, so that we can devise those products which can be highly demanded in that economies. Here we are talking about social environment. When we are talking about social environment, it is combinations of tradition, values and trends prevailing or emerging in the particular kind of country or in a particular civilization or in a particular country. When we are talking about tradition, tradition means those practices which have remained in existence over decades or over centuries, like the festival we celebrate, the festivity or organization of ours at special occasion like birth, marriages, death. These things or these traditions offer business opportunities to the business enterprises that they can devise specific kind of product which are in high demand on special occasions, on special days, on special festivals, and they should avoid manufacturing those products which are quite anti to such occasions. In order to earn high amount of profit, then we are having value. Values can be defined as basic guidelines which are behavioristic guidelines which are to be followed by each one, be he is an individual, be it is a family or it is a business enterprises. If you hurt the values of a civilization, they will never allow you to operate smoothly. Like freedom, you should give freedom to business entities and you should make equity among your employees and among your customers. Social justice, that means you cannot hurt the emotions of anybody. You cannot do prejudice or injustice against any section of society. Similarly, we are having social welfare and contribution towards the development of our social infrastructure. All these are values to be complied by the business entities if they want to operate smoothly in any economy or any regions, if they want to have minimum restriction from the part of employees, from the community, from the society, from the media, from the public. So you must comply with these values as well. Then we are having trends. Trends means emerging fashions that are developing in a particular kind of society. Like nowadays, there is a trend in the youth that they prefer to ride cruiser bikes instead of they are quite uneconomical and polluting. People who are enjoying urban cultures nowadays is having a trend of to be more health conscious, using those food substances which are having less quantity of cholesterol in themselves. Then we are talking about people are becoming health conscious. They are joining meditation classes, yoga classes, as well as Western style gym exercises they are doing so that they can maintain themselves young and healthy. So these all are called trends. We have to keep in mind what kind of fashions are emerging and that kind of product are to be provided us to the public in order to earn maximum profit. Then we are going to talk about political environment. Political environment has many elements. Here are some of the important aspects of political environment I have mentioned on the board. Very first, we are having political system, whether we are a democracy. Democracy may also be two types of having two major parties like UK's and USA, and democracy with large number of political parties like India. In these kind of democracies, business organizations are provided enough opportunity, ample opportunities to conduct their business operations without government intervention unless and otherwise it is required, or until they violate the norms, government does not prefer to intervene in their operations. We are also having some kind of dictatorships, like where there is no political party allowed, but either the political head, or you may say the king of the country or traditional head, or the military head do lead to the country. In these kind of countries or in these kind of economies, business organizations are not allowed to operate freely. They have to operate according to the whims and desires of the traditional head or military head. When we are talking about communistic countries, there is only one major party and regional parties are allowed to operate at local levels. So in this kind of countries like China, we too experience large quantum of facilities are provided to the industrial unit, but they have to produce according to the national priorities. So before deciding that in which kind of political system you would like to operate, you have to decide and learn about their features. Then here we are talking about peace problems. It means internal as well as external peace. External peace means whether we are at war with neighbor countries, with other countries, with regional countries, or we are having peaceful relationship among different sections or different religious groups of the country or different regional groups of the countries even. If we are having peaceful environment, we are not having internal tussling, internal protest, strike and fighting with each other. In that case, in our country, it will be very easy to establish the industrial units and operate even in those areas which are quite remote. Like in our areas, specifically talking about Naxal affected areas, no industrial house or no industrial unit express their desire to establish their industrial unit in such areas because there is higher instability and they do not allow them to operate successfully despite the fact that they are having huge amount of mineral resources. But they have been arguing against the government that government has ignored or has been ignoring their interest over the long period of time. That's why they are having poor economic development and they blame government for it. Then we are having stability. Stability of government means a government is able to complete 2, 3, 4 tenures consecutively. In that case, it will be easy for the business enterprises to easily predict about the kind of action that a government can take. Their industrial policies, their trade policies, their monetary policies and their fiscal policies become quite predictable. They make their plans and then they easily implement their plans with minimum amount of uncertainties. But when government keep changing, it becomes very difficult for the business enterprises to anticipate what likely changes they are going to introduce through their economic policies. So in such kind of economies, there will be less foreign investment and industrial will also avoid to make investment because it will have more uncertainties in the future. And where there are more uncertainties, that means there is more risk. Then we are talking about types of government. There can be 2 types of government. Coalition government, that means combination of different political parties and no political party is enjoying clear majority. In that case, the political party which is having large number of seats still will not be able to formulate and implement its policy freely. Uncertainty will remain in the economy, and in economy or in a country when there is a major ruling party having large number of seats in the parliament or in the state assembly, they will be forming policies which are national oriented, which allows equal regional development and which allow equal distribution of income and wealth. That means minimum inequalities will be more stable and will be more favored by the business enterprises. Then lastly, we are having ideology of ruling parties. You know what? If we take example of India, Congress party or UP alliance and BJP party and NDA alliance. NDA has always remained a nationalistic party. That means they are talking about nationalism feeling first and regional feelings later on. But Congress party is the party which has been talking about the secularism, the equality of all religions. This kind of political party may create the feeling among minorities that they are not provided with such facilities and such values which are majority sections are provided with. Here, instability and internal grievances and internal peace keeps affecting. But when you are giving priority to the nationalistic feeling over the regional feeling or religious feeling, in that case, there will be more stability, there will be more internal peace and external strength of the country will improve. So you have to also check about the ideology that the political party is influenced by or they are following. Here we are having legal environment, which is going to be the most important aspect of macro business environment. Legal environment is consisting of laws, decisions by committee and judgment or verdict of the Supreme Court as well as High Court. Specifically talking about laws, we are having different kind of laws. Some of the laws are called business laws, some of the laws are called corporate laws and other laws called environment protection laws. When we are talking about business laws, means those laws which are applicable to almost specific industries, like we are having Partnership Act, we are having Joint Hindu Family Act, we are having Companies Act, we are having Indian Contract Act, Sales of Goods Act, Arbitration Act. All these are negotiable instruments. All these acts are called Business Act. But when we are talking about Corporate Act, that means Companies Act, MRTP Act, Foreign Exchange Management Act. Besides that, we are having a Negotiable Instrument Act is also some types of Corporate Act. So these all acts are applicable to the company form of business organization. Then we are talking about environment protection laws like Water Pollution Prevention and Control Act, Air Pollution Prevention and Control Act, Hazardous Waste Management Rule. All these are also to be complied by the business entities. When we are talking about verdict of Honorable High Courts and Supreme Court, you can quote here the case of PC Mehta versus Union of India, in which Honorable Supreme Court ordered relocation of polluting industries away from the highly populated cities of Delhi and Faridabad in 2004. You can cite here Samit Mehta versus Union of India case, MV Wreck. There was a ship probably belonging to the Kuwait countries came to India for dismantling, but the company preferred to dispose or sink it in the Indian Ocean, which caused huge damage to our mangrove forest, and Supreme Court decided that there was resilience of the pre-voyage consciousness, pre-voyage preparations. That's why, according to the principle of polluter pay, huge penalties were imposed on the company that the ship belongs to. So these kind of laws and verdict of the courts are also to be followed, or they set a precedent in example which is to be followed by other business units. Here we can talk about the decisions of committees and commission as well, which are formed or the group of specialists to deal with a specific issues. Like Sumitra Chaudhary Committee recommended in 2017 that instead of BS5 Bharat Stage Emission Norms 5, we should directly impose BS6 from 2020, so that we can control the highly or increasing polluting environment in an effective manner. Here you can quote the recommendation of Narasimha Committee related to the banking sector reform, recommendation of Raja Chilia Committee related to the fiscal reforms. Here GV Ramakrishnan Committee recommended establishment of Department of Disinvestment. All these committee decisions were followed and independent or autonomous units were established to behave in a specific field. Then here we have to discuss about technology. Technology means we are having two types of technology: technology of production and technology of operation. When we are talking about technology of production, it depends upon availability of kind of resources. Like we are having high population, then we should use labor intensive technology. In case we are having scarcity of manpower, but we are having other resources, then we should use capital intensive technology. Second thing is speed of changes. There are two types of economies: highly developed economies which are having rapid changes in the technologies. In that case, the companies have to be very much adaptive, or it is very easy in those economies where we experience high speed of changes, because the management, the manpower becomes quite adaptive to such kind of changes. They keep making efforts to make themselves more leveraged with the knowledge. In case we are having slow speed, loads of resistance come from employees and trade unions whenever we are going to implement a new change. Then we are talking about adaptation level. That means managerial efficiency to convince trade unions, to convince their employees, and to ensure that we are having a specific mechanism which shall make you to adapt the kind of change that we are going to promote, or you will have accessibility to the voluntary retirement scheme if you don't desire to operate with new technology. So this is about technology. Then we are talking about the last element of macro environment, global environment. Global environment means our relationship. Here specifically talking about trade relationship with rest of the world. It depends on the kind of barriers that we are allowed to still follow by World Trade Organization. Developed countries have almost removed all kind of barriers, be they are tariff barriers or non-tariff barriers, but some of the quality-oriented barriers are still being used by them. When we are talking about developing economies, some kind of tariff and non-tariff barriers are still allowable by 2025 to developing countries. Which developing countries can impose both kind of barriers to protect their domestic industry. Then we are talking about agreements. How many agreements like duty, tariff area, free trade area agreement we have signed with other countries, like whether we are signatories to all the agreements that are being part and parcel of World Trade Organization. So if we are having more agreement with more countries, with international community, in that case we will experience a free trade, an opportunity to utilize our competitive advantage to maximize our profit, expand ourselves to make ourselves a multinational company. Then we are talking about regional trading bloc, like we can give example of ASEAN, SHARC, BRICS, Indian Ocean Region Community. We can also give example of SAFTA. So all these trading blocs membership offer us huge quantum of opportunities. If country is having agreement with such trading blocs, that means trading units or industrial units or trading units are going to enjoy a lot of facility, a lot of convenience in deciding what to produce and where to sell at what prices. This is all about our macro business environment. Besides that, I must tell you there is also an aspect in some curriculum given like national environment. National environment means availability of resources, whether we are having manpower, whether we are having abundance of natural resources that will affect our selection of technology. Thank you very much for watching us. If you have any doubt related to this lecture, you can send your comment in our comment box. If you like our lecture, if you think that really valid discussion we have facilitated to you, you should subscribe our channel, you should like our video, and you can also make comment and share it with your friends so that they can also get advantage of kind of content that we offer. Thank you very much for being with us. Stay safe, stay home. See you soon in our next lecture. Thank you very much.